Hello everyone, my name is Justin Smith and today I'll be talking to you guys about how to build a reliable revenue model for your auto repair shop. So we're nearing the end of the year here, and the new year is often a time when people look back and reflect on the changes they want to make, both personally and in their business. For auto repair shop owners and managers, that might mean a number of things. More personal time, less stress at work, higher sales, maybe even more confidence that if you buy that new piece of equipment, you'll be able to make money off of it. But while we work hard at bringing new customers into the shops each month, I hope you aren't relying on those customers' first visits to your shop to accomplish these goals. I don't say that because new customers are bad. They're awesome. They're just not as good as the customers you already have. In fact, for most shops, the customers you already have is the best source of all the other things I mentioned above: higher sales, more of the use of new equipment, more reliable revenue streams, and more of that less stress at work. In fact, the best value of a new customer can bring to your shop isn't the first bit of business. It's their likelihood to become a consistently visiting existing customer. And why is this? For starters, your existing customers are way cheaper to get back in your shop than new ones. Studies vary exactly on how much. Some say 5 times more, and some say 10 times more. Either way, it's a large number. Think about it this way. If you send out 10,000 postcards to potential customers just based off their address or zip code, there's no way that you could actually track them coming back to your shop. Maybe they don't even have a vehicle. Maybe their brother runs an auto repair shop, or they've used the same shop for over 10 years. On the other hand, if you send out 1,000 postcards to existing customers, you should feel comfortable that they'd all consider coming back to your shop, especially if you've given them good service, because they've already come to your shop before. Just based on that fact alone, your odds are way better. Another thing to consider: if a customer has came to your shop multiple times already, it's a pretty good bet that they trust you and your shop. That's a major hurdle that you have to overcome. Not only is that non-trusting customer less likely to come to your shop, they're also less likely to agree to more than the absolute minimum that has to be done to their vehicle to make sure it's operational over the short term. Once customers have been treated fairly a few times by your shop, they're more likely to consider a significant repair to previous catastrophic damages. Reoccurring customers equal reoccurring revenue. Let me say that one more time. Reoccurring customers equals reoccurring revenue. Revenue that you don't have to work hard to get in the doors later on. So here's a few questions that you should ask yourself as a shop owner or a manager. How hard does your shop work on getting the first-time customers to transition to a reoccurring customer? How much of your marketing efforts goes into keeping your customers compared to gaining new ones? And the third one, what if you increase 10% of your customer retention? Would that turn into an okay year, into a great year? That's what we're going to focus on today. How to get that customer retention number up so you can focus on great customer service and expert auto repair instead of having to become a full-time sales marketing manager wheeling and dealing discounted services just to keep the doors open. So there are 3 phases to focus on when you want to convert a first-time customer to a lifetime customer. The first phase is that first interaction with you, both on the phone and in your shop, because that's going to anchor their opinion of you and every other interaction you have with them for a long time. The second one, how do you interact with them during and after the maintenance or repair, while their vehicle is still on their property. And finally, we'll talk a little bit about the ways you could keep them coming back to your shop without encouraging them to chase coupons or other discounts. But first, I want to talk about how things got so bad with these so-called price shoppers in the first place. So the internet has changed the way people think about buying things. Before the internet, prices still mattered, but it wasn't the only thing. If there were 2 appliances in stores in town, in order to compare them like a microwave, you had to visit the stores. and experience the sales process and learn about how each store would take care of their product and their customer after the sale. Price was taken into consideration along with every other aspect of product or service. Nowadays, for the products at least, people can search for a product and see dozens of stores offering the exact same product with the lowest price at the top and a buy button right next to it. They don't know anything about the source. All they know is Google Shopping has showed them the lowest price, and if they click the button, it will show up to their doorsteps a few days later. Going back to the microwave example, here's how shopping for a microwave works today. I'm just looking at Google for a microwave. Here's a specific Hamilton Beach model. There are 25 stores trying to sell it to me, but it only highlights one price, the cheapest non-eBay store located at Walmart for $69. When I click on the name of it, it takes me straight to Walmart to buy it. What about the other 24 stores? It may as well not even be there. The only way anyone can compete selling anything online is price, because it's the only thing that can be compared apples to apples by a search engine and order them from best to worst. Some people might say that reviews are another way to compete, and they are. But even online reviews are manipulated, with these companies paying more to post fake positive reviews on their company just to boost its ratings. It's no surprise that this has been a terrible for customers as a whole. People have been trained to find the lowest price, the best coupon, the best deal, and it's become almost a game to get a huge discount on whatever they buy. As companies compete in today's online marketplace, they're forced to lower these services standards just so that they can become a price shopper. But because the price shopper isn't satisfied in the end, they get a terrible service, or the price was a scam and magically increases at the shop. And the online store isn't satisfied either, because you know you can sustain business by competing with giant franchises with price alone. The cheapest price, just like their microwave, is always Walmart or Amazon. It's not really good for anyone. Here's the good news for repair shops. It's true that some shops do prices or coupons online for common maintenance in like oil changes and brake replacements. So some online price shopping does still happen. And there's a good chance you'll want to compete for that first visit with a great deal on those types of services. Fortunately for auto repair shops, customers aren't clicking button online and magically getting their oil changed or getting a brake job in their garage. They've still got to visit the shop. And every single second that interaction is an opportunity to passively remind them that there's a lot more to an auto shop experience than a price. There's how quickly they're taken care of. How much attention and respect is the service writer providing that customer? How descriptive is that problem? Explain that repair job to them. Whether the shop has gone out of the way to make sure you trust what they say. Whether they get that maintenance done on time at that original cost stated. Now, some of the customers that visit you are always going to be price shoppers. They've just been trained online to become price shoppers. They'll always chase the cheapest price, and they'll never be happy with what they get. And honestly, it's best to just let those customers go and find the cheapest price somewhere else. But all those customer service factors I mentioned are going to have an impact on your best customer. I like to call this your ideal customer profile, or your ICP. When it's time to get customers something else done to their vehicle, your ICP, or your best customer, is always going to compare the potential cost savings of going back online and finding a coupon from somewhere else to the shop experience that they might encounter at your shop. That's when they'll just have to visit your shop instead of going online and get price shopping done. That's going to be your long-term customer, your ICP. That's where your reoccurring revenue is. They expect great service, and they aren't going to tolerate getting ripped off, but they know don't want to squeeze every last penny out of your shop. They appreciate everything that you do to them. They appreciate the fact that you don't push hard to upsell them every time you visit their shop. And they always provide them with options and let them make the decisions. And over time, they begin to feel like they become an employee at your shop. They know you guys personally, and more importantly, the shop employees know them. It's almost like a family. So how do you get these customers into your shop after their first visit? Traditional advertising techniques like websites, postcards, and sponsoring local events are important. It's hard to know upfront which customer will be your longtime customer, your ICP, and which ones will be the price shoppers. Until they've had a chance to experience the quality of your customer service, many customers don't have a reason to select your shop. I say many customers, not all, because there are some techniques to get the customer attention quality focused right away. The best is always to ask for referrals and online reviews from your best customers. People who want to know where to get the best service as opposed to only the cheapest price. The ones who are friends and family are the ones who will research and determine which shops they really do care about. Also, look for opportunities to win customer service awards, both from online providers like Angie's List and City Search, and from local newspapers and magazines. Once you have potential customers on the phone or in the shop, however, that's when you can begin to demonstrate your shop is different from the other auto shop down the street. Here are a few tips to do this. First of all, make sure that you are dedicating your focus to that customer right away. This is actually a lot harder than it sounds. There's a lot going on in the shop, and when phone calls are constantly interrupting your train of thought, it's real easy to subconsciously get that phone call out of the way so you get back to getting work done. But when a service manager picks up the phone, their primary focus should be solving whatever problem that person has on the other line. If they're calling, they've got a problem, and that problem probably represents money to your shop. The problem might be small. It might be they aren't sure what they've done to their vehicle, but it also might be that they're broken down on the interstate and cars are zooming past them at 80 miles an hour. Whatever the problem, the quicker you can convince them that it's getting ready to be solved, the quicker you'll be off the phone with either a satisfied customer or at least a new customer. You don't have to be the one to be all scripted, but phone calls should follow same basic steps. First, thank them for calling. Then ask them how you could help them. Next, restate just enough of their questions so that they know you're listening. Then tell them what you can do to solve that problem. Make it seem as easy as possible for them to understand. One more thought about these pre-drop-off conversations. It's important to make clear that you want to help the customers. With the right person on the phone, this will happen naturally. Some people just naturally like helping others with whatever problems they may have. You can hear their happiness because they've just received good news for that customer over the phone. But if your service writer seems uninterested in the conversation, most people will probably call around to find someone who is, because they'll always assume you probably won't, even if you can. A recent study asked customers what they most wanted in customer service. While this study wasn't specific to auto repair, it still shows customers really want out of the service experiences. Number one, the list of assurances their problem can be fixed. Number three was an explanation of why they're having the problem. And number five was the resolution of the problem in the first attempt. If you can convince a customer that you can do these three things, you're obviously doing a better job than most guys. Going back to that last point, a resolution of the problem in the first attempt. What they experience after they've come into your shop, but before they've gotten their vehicle back from you. This is the phase that most shops focus on, and while the other phases are important, this one is critical. The absolute key factor during this phase is building trust with that customer. For your best customers, trust is currency. I mean that literally. Here's an example. If you quote a customer at $1,000 and they trust you, they think it's going to cost $1,000. If they get a second opinion from a shop down the road, that they don't trust and they get a quote for $850, they might automatically assume it's going to cost around $1,200 before out the door. A smart customer will know the difference between shopping for the lowest quote and shopping for the lowest price. That's how they're going to trust you. That's where you're going to gain their trust and win without undercutting anyone. And it's not just the price either. If they trust you, you get the benefit of the doubt on everything, on how long it will take to repair the vehicle, to whether you could fix the problem right away, or to whether it's worth the extra $100 to get that fixed for the long haul. Unfortunately, trust is a hard but easy way to gain a new customer. You've got to be able to deliver over and over again to keep their trust. Here are 6 ways you can build trust during the repair process. If you frequently handle the problem a customer is having, bring that up right away. That will put the customer at ease, as it tells they've called the right place. It will also give them more confidence in everything you say and do going forward in the conversation. If they know you see a particular problem all the time, they're more likely to assume you'll be able to fix it without any hiccups. Express pride and confidence in your mechanics. Customers don't get the opportunity to talk with your mechanics, let alone see them. They're reliant on your opinion as a service writer. And if the service writer is genuinely able to talk about the skills of the shop mechanics at the shop in a positive way and provide some kind of detail of their credentials, knowledge, or experience, it will put the customers more at ease. Without that description, the profile of the mechanic working on the vehicle in the back is left completely up to their imagination, especially if they've never visited your shop before. Unless the problem is a flat rate maintenance issue like brake pads or oil changes, state your hourly labor costs up front when discussing a repair. The more numbers that can move around in an invoice, the less control a customer feels like they have. If the repair rates are set, it's only a question of how much time the repair will take and how much the new parts will cost. When telling the customer about any unexpected repairs that needs to be made, make sure to mention things that are in good shape and other things that may need to have happen later, but you wouldn't recommend just yet. This indicates that you're not trying to find every possible thing wrong with the car and get it fixed today. It also makes them feel less like their car is bad luck, which can cause frustrations, and they may even take it out on the nearest person, and that's going to be you. Another big thing for unexpected repairs, make it clear you know it's a surprise and you want to be transparent as possible. Offer to show them the issue of their vehicle. If there's another vehicle in the shop where you can show them what it looked like, show them that too. If it's a serious issue, indicate that. But take the extra effort not to come off as pushy, especially on their first visit to the shop. Lastly, meet your price and time estimates. A shop being able to meet their price and time estimates is just a sign they are honest and customer focused. It also means that a shop can accurately diagnose a problem, how long a car will be in line, and how long it will take to fix. If you run into unexpected delays, customers might wonder why you weren't expecting them. Once you've taken them through the repair process and they're getting ready to pay you, it's time to make sure that they believe that you really want to be happy. Ask how they did. Ask if they're happy with everything they went. Tell them about your warranty process. Just like when they first called, you want to have them believe that you want to solve their problem right away and that it's more than just money to you. If you can pull off all of this, you're setting yourself up as one of the best shops in the area. Your reputation is going to be stellar, which is going to make getting new customers much easier. Having said that, it's still more cost-effective to targeting existing customers than new customers. That doesn't mean you shouldn't market to new customers. Every shop's going to need them. It just means that you should market to your existing customer base too. We wouldn't recommend sending your loyal customers coupons in the mail every month. If they're loyal to you, it's because of your great service. You may not have to provide discounts to get them back into the door. If they always see a coupon when they need service, you're starting to train them as always wanting to want that coupon. That means they aren't going to come in unless they have one in hand. What can you do instead? Here are a few creative ideas. Some of these can even come from customers. 1. You could send them a hand-addressed letter. Everyone can receive coupons these days, impersonal booklets, or stacks of note cards from businesses that pay to stuff mailboxes to them. What people don't get these days is anything that someone actually took the time to handwrite. For your best customers, or for those that trusted with big repairs, a hand-addressed letter thanking them for their business and their trust is borderline shocking display of attention that really leaves them impressed. It costs a little bit of time to put these together each month, but it doesn't cost anything other than that. Another thing, you could send them a small thank you gift. For a few customers that really matter most to you, team up with maybe some local businesses and send some coupons for a couple free ice cream cones or pizza with no purchase required. You may have to spend a little bit of money here, but it will cost way less than a mass mailing campaign, and the impression you make will be much greater to those customers. Gestures like this can earn customers for life status, because it's so rare to offer anything without asking for something in return these days. Another one, call them and offer a free car wash and vacuum. It doesn't cost much time to quickly rinse a vehicle off and vacuum it out. There's a good chance you do this already. It doesn't cost much to call a customer, thank them from their consistent business, and tell them to stop by sometime for a free rinse or vacuum. You'll know it will surprise them and may bring them back by the shop. In addition to building goodwill, there's a good chance they'll want to take care of other things while they're there, meaning you just earned goodwill and more business in the same route. So to close today, there are 3 phases of your relationship with anyone who contacts your shop for maintenance or repairs. 1, your first impression of you, their service experience, and their post-service experience. Each of these phases is an opportunity to identify your best customers, that ideal customer profile, your ICP, the ones that aren't hunting for the cheapest possible price, and to convert them into long-term customers that generate great margins for your shop. If you can build a consistent customer base, your new customers won't be the only thing keeping you business from mouth to mouth. Instead, they'll be padding your profits and building your long-term customer base. So before I close out today, a little bit about Heuris at Repair Shop websites. We've been providing exclusively for the automotive industry for the last 13 years, and we have more than 1,900 customers in all 50 states and some in Canada. Our focus is on building a web presence that looks to attract 3 businesses that you like to see, whether that's general automotive, brand specific, or specialized repairs. Some of the biggest names in auto repair business have chosen to partner with us to help increase shops business, including AC Delco, Auto Plus, Auto Value, and Parts Plus. And we've never relied on contracts to keep our customers. We rely on our customer service. And you can call as much as you'd like or ask for any changes you want to your website at no added charge. I hope this has been helpful for you as a planned successful marketing strategy for 2018. If you have any questions about anything I've covered, you can contact me using the contact information provided on the screen. We offer one of those webinars each month, so stay tuned for another Repair Shop Websites webinar next month. Have a great day.